Hi, I'm Fitzgerald, and today I'm reviewing the LG Cookie for Villa 81. It's a touchscreen device, so I'll start with that functionality first. For me, the most important thing about a phone is that it acts like a phone, and the problem with this particular one was that it was very difficult to get to the actual phone part. I'm very used to having my numbers there straight away because it's a phone and that's what it does. Once you get there, the touchscreen itself is clunky, it's not particularly sensitive, it takes a while to dial it. There are a couple of cool things, like when you start dialing a number that you frequently dial, it comes up at the top and you can just click on it. There was one problem that I had when I use phone banking quite a lot. So when I was going through that, the phone would lock during the call, so I would have to unlock it and go back, and sometimes that would result in my pressing a number that I didn't mean to press, and the entire phone banking process would go off. So there were things like that that are super important for me. The other problem was with texting. Again, because the screen wasn't particularly sensitive, it took a while. Sometimes you had to hold down the key, and also because the letters were grouped together, it wasn't like buttons. It had to wait until it went on to the next letter, which meant that I couldn't text very quickly, and I'm a very fast texter on normal phones, so that was a real problem. One problem for me was definitely the calendar. I would tend to have 3 or 4 different things that I really would want to have in my calendar for a day, and I really do rely on my phone to organize my life, and I think that a lot of people who would be in this target audience for this phone would rely on it for that as well. Once you get to adding an appointment in, you're asked for 3 different categories: a birthday, and an appointment, and an anniversary. None of those things really ever fit, actually. I mean, you could call it an appointment sometimes, but it didn't quite work. Once you wanted to put in a description of the event or the meeting that you were going to, you had to scroll all the way down the screen, and it was called Notes, which was a pain. As far as I'm concerned, the first thing you should see is the time and what it is, and that's other than that, nothing's really important, and that was a real problem for me. A lot of the bells and whistles on this phone were quite good. I was very impressed with the camera. I was able to take pretty good pictures that I wouldn't be necessarily used to having a great camera on a phone. It was really a multimedia kind of a phone, and so if you're into having a phone that takes really great pictures of things, then it was good for that. The other good thing was that it had a really nice radio on it. I didn't use it that often, I only used it sometimes because I wasn't a fan of the earphones that came with it, and you can only use the specific earphones that go with it because of the attachment. But I did use it sometimes, and when I did, the sound quality was excellent. You could program different radio stations into it, and it was a good little thing to have. It also had a music function, which, again, I didn't use as much because of the whole earphone problem, but excellent sound quality, nice thing to have. If it's the kind of thing that is important to you, that your phone has these functions, then it was great for that. So in summary, the LG Cookie was okay, but it wasn't great. A lot of its features and a lot of the things that it was supposed to do, like being a phone, ended up being a little bit annoying because it was slow and sluggish, and the actual software wasn't great. For me, as somebody who I think would be their target audience, a young female professional, a lot of the features that really should have worked, like the actual phone itself and the dialing process and the calendar, were terrible and actually unusable. I had to switch back to my old phone for both of those reasons. In the end, if you like your bells and whistles, if you like your phone to have fun little multimedia functions like a radio and a music player and a good camera, then this was pretty good. But other than that, if you like your phone to be a phone and if you use it to organize your life, this isn't great for that. So I think overall I would give this a 4 out of 10.